Can you point to any concrete policies which are as impactful as the abortion ban that have resulted from CRT or wokeness? So that's it? The great threat that makes centrism so justifiable.
Wait, why did you just change the topic?
But that's what I'm trying to, like, the whole point.
Well, then just ask the real question. Don't ask a second question and then ask a different question.
Yeah, if you want to ask a question about
If the real question is
centrism.
what is the threat of the left? The threat of the left is, I don't want fucking communism. I don't want fucking socialism. I want to live in a liberal fucking democracy. That's the threat. I want to live under a liberal democracy. A shocking idea. Sorry, but I don't think the broad acceptance of racism against white people in our media or in our culture is going to lead to positive outcomes down the road. And I don't think people are saying that once the left takes over institutions, it's going to lead to a problem. I think they're saying they did, and the problems are here.
Sure, and the problems are like isolated media examples. When I can point you to like massive concrete problems caused by the right, like overwhelming amounts of political violence, rights being taken away. Some guy asked, is it half the country? Yeah, go to guttmacher.org and it's in the abortion map for after Roe. Yeah, it's half the country. And you know, the only red states that haven't started the crackdown on abortion are the ones where it's constitutionally protected and the voters overwhelmingly voted in favor of it. Every time, Kansas.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue is that, you know, you're swimming in your ocean of politics, and so that stuff is just not as a big deal to you, where the right-wing stuff is obviously a much bigger deal to you. So I think that's what's just happening here.
Sure, but the reason we're bringing this up is you are so opposed to this part of the left having any power that you are willing to say you are a centrist between it and people who are actively sidling up to dictators. Like, that's the point I'm trying to get at. You're equating wokeism being so bad as like Orban being on the national stage, like right next to Trump.
I mean, we have socialists in Congress, actually in Congress, not being invited to speak at the Democratic National Convention. Like, they are actual Congress people.
Yeah, and they're all voting in favor of expanding voting rights. They're all voting in favor of expanding democracy broadly.
And we can move on to the next topic or you can ask us any questions if you want. We've been talking for almost 4 hours, so.
Sure. Can you point to any concrete policies which are as impactful as the abortion ban that have resulted from CRT or wokeness?
Well, I'm pro-choice. I don't know if you know that. Like, we've been arguing with our
I'm not trying to say you're
community.
anti-abortion. I'm trying to say the abortion ban is enormously impactful. It'll affect the daily lives and yearly lives of half of the country. So can you point to anything on that level from CRT, from wokeness?
A legislative policy? Is that what you're asking?
Like something that's actually real.
Well, you can't say that cultural influence isn't real. That's literally the
Sure,
left's
it's
entire
real, but I'm
position.
trying to say actual policy. Something
Well,
that
no, but this is the problem. How can the entire left's argument is that culture changes and influences everything?
Sure, but if it doesn't translate into policy, so in Canada, right, it translated into Bill C-16, which y'all got very mad about. Can you point to anything like that in the United States?
So, any left-wing policies that are on the same level as the abortion thing? I can't think of one.
Well, the vaccine mandates in the military obviously affected far more people than the abortion did, because they all had to
Sure,
get
but I wouldn't really call the
That's
vaccine
not true.
mandates
The
like a
military is
woke
3 million
issue.
people, but regardless.
I mean, you could
Well,
say
how
all
many
the
abortions-
You'd
how
say
many
all
abortions
the various
are there?
lockdown stuff, but I wouldn't really call lockdown stuff woke. But it was generally, you know, the left was generally more supportive of it.
So that's it? The great threat that makes centrism so justifiable is like maybe vaccine.
Wait, why did you just change the topic?
But that's what I'm trying to, like, the whole point.
Well, then just ask the real question. Don't ask a second question and then ask a different question.
Yeah, if you want to ask a question about
If the real question is
centrism.
what is the threat of the left? The threat of the left is, I don't want fucking communism. I don't want fucking socialism. I want to live in a liberal fucking democracy. That's the threat. I want to live under a liberal democracy. A shocking idea.
Sure, then you should be real fucking mad about Republicans doing the opposite of that.
I don't like when Republicans do the opposite of this shit. I just fucking went on a rant the other day about how the fucking Don't Say Gay bill is fucking stupid now. I don't care. I'm not in favor of all this shit. This is the problem. You're like saying like, well, because they had Viktor Orban at CPOC, you have to choose, Sitch. You have to choose. And I'm saying both sides fucking suck. They both fucking suck. I hate to tell you this, but they do.
Both suck isn't enough.
Yes.
One sucks a whole lot more. That's all I'm trying to highlight.
That's not true.
Over and over.
I don't
when
think
you look
that's
at the
true.
policies,
I don't
when you look
think
at the
that's true.
actual things that are done, one side is way more anti-democracy over and over. I sent you,
Okay,
in fact,
I
a
don't agree
study.
with
If
that.
you want to read it, it's Grombach 2020. It's the Democratic backsliding one.
Okay.
Where are you at? Where are you at on abortions at the 9th month, Aiden.
I think the 11th is the real demand.
True.
Oh yeah, that would be great, but after they're born, it's a little difficult.
So Short Fat Otaku says affirmative action policies. Ah, yes, affirmative action policies definitely only resulted from critical race theory. The timeline for that one definitely lines up. Do not look up when affirmative action
Stop
started.
debating Short Fat Otaku in our chat. You can debate him on his channel when it's his time. Okay.
It's wild to me that you as a democratic socialist or social democrat, you're like, listen, Sitch, it's not a big deal. I'm like, yeah, obviously to you it's not a big deal because you're in favor of a lot of this shit.
Of
I'm not in
course.
favor of a lot of this fucking shit. So obviously it's a bigger deal to me.
Yeah, of course. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.